witness a seismic event. Now, let the party begin.
Your healthy radio addiction starts now.
Ride or die, 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 fly. Know that they ride or die. Cody, what is my guys? Know that they fly. Know that they ride or die. I keep wearing no filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got no filter.
I don't know. What are you taking off your headphones for?
Oh my God. When you started the intro, I was going to go deaf.
I think I am deaf. That's why I put it so low.
Jeez, that thing was so loud.
Generation Z, you're a bunch of unstable, anxiety-filled, depression-filled morons. That's basically the title of the show China Doll came up with.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
that
it is.
That is not the title that I came up with at all.
Okay, Generation Z is unstable.
That is still not what I said.
Well, that's what I put it as.
That's not what it is.
Well, what is it then?
Generation X is the most stressed generation.
Oops. Did I screw the pooch on that one?
Dude, you totally put the wrong generation and everything.
Well, you know, it happens.
So you couldn't read either?
What's up, everyone? How you guys and gals doing? I wonder if I'm going to have Bonehead in here trying to debate me again. It happens, huh?
That was kind of funny.
It was. Expecting me just to dedicate the whole show to him and all his nonsense, if you will. Non-facts, I say. Non-facts. I'm kind of upset right now.
Why?
And we'll get to Gen Z in a minute here.
Why
But-
Gen Z? It's supposed to be about Gen X.
See, I don't know. I can't keep X, Y, Z. You know, it's kind of like Democrats. They don't know what a woman is. So anyway, I'm upset. Very, very, very upset.
Does it have to do with Japan?
No.
Oh.
It has to do with, and I brought this up in a debate, we're always given billions of dollars of our money away to other countries, correct?
Yes.
Well, FEMA came out and said that they have no more money for hurricanes because they used it for resettlement. Guess how much? Guess how much? That the residents of North Carolina, Tennessee, and a lot of these disaster areas, which still is just unbelievably messed up right now and suffering, how much they get?
$750 a household.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
I couldn't even wipe my ass with toilet paper for $750.
That ain't gonna fix nothing.
How do you feel about that as an American citizen, where our money is being given to Israel, to Ukraine?
And the fact that people in this country get $750?
And you get illegal immigrants getting $13,000 EBT cards to eat.
I think it's 100% pathetic.
And Trump and Elon been working on this since the beginning. And they're just now getting down there.
Wow.
And it's a stage thing because Kamala was in San Francisco getting her money, her fundraisers, while Joe Biden was on the beach, while these people are suffering. And do you know that FEMA, you know, a lot of people that had their own helicopters were down there trying to help people escape all this. They threatened them. You can't do that.
Why?
That's what they did.
Why? If
Folks, we have breaking news coming out of some of the most affected areas in our southwest region of our country right now, namely Georgia, North Carolina. This morning on my show, we have LFA correspondent Tyler Kramer on the ground in North Carolina, and he had some great on-the-ground reporting, in-the-field reporting today. But basically, all of the relief efforts that have been going on have been by civilians, civilian airplanes, civilian helicopters, civilian rescue vehicles, civilian tractors and dozers, and any kind of rescue and relief has all been done by civilians. People are coming together like you've never seen before. Actually, some of the greatest reporting this morning was at the fact that, the country may not be as divided as we think. Maybe politically, yes, but we're banding together like never before. And on LFA TV today, we raised about $8,000 to help in the relief efforts, which we're actually sending down there as well. Some of us are going to be heading down there to help out. But the breaking news today, folks, is that FEMA, that now has jurisdiction in a lot of these areas, is literally confiscating donations and relief materials. So any first aid kits and food and water, because FEMA has jurisdiction.
Kind of stuns you, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
And they're halting all those flights that the civilians have been doing to help. But we can give $60 billion to Ukraine. We can give billions to Israel. They're fine on their own. They can do their thing. They're a nuclear power. Why we got to keep giving them money? Especially now that there's probably going to be war over there. This right there shows you. This is why I'm telling you, people, prep. Because in an emergency, that's what they're going to do. They're going to start confiscating your shit. It's showing you right there, real time. That's why you need a gun. That's why you need what we got in the safe. It's no shit. Because if something happens, you're on your own. They are actually, you're seeing it real time. They are confiscating emergency supplies. Because they're broke. They're too busy with the illegal immigrants. Too busy sending our stuff to other countries. And then they come out with the smack in the face of, here's $750.
That's like a month's worth of groceries for some people.
Not even that.
Mm-mm. That's disgusting.
It's between $300 and $350 a week for us.
And we're lucky if we don't have to run in a day in there somewhere and get stuff we forgot.
And Beezer says the gougers are running rampant, so you got to throw that in there too. That's why it's so damn important to get prepared. Get your stuff prepared. That's why I love my son, man. That motherfucker, shit.
He's prepped.
He's prepped, ready to go, man. His go bag looks like Rambo's freaking shit.
It's Rambo's go bag. It's like he's going through a Holocaust or something. I don't know what he's doing. It's crazy. He's going to be fighting zombies and everything else.
Road rage, that's awesome. A lot of us in the ham radio community have been setting up contact relays and directing people there to places where people need rescue, as well as finding missing people and relaying messages. $10 a gallon for gas once you pass Charlotte.
Yeah, he's in North Carolina.
Where are these people? Where are they?
It's ridiculous.
And you know what? If you vote for these idiots, if you live in these states affected, you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry. Don't you see the priorities they have now? Don't you think it's time to get rid of that DNR behind their names and vote for somebody who actually gives a shit? They rather give it to Zelensky than to our own people. They rather bus in. So basically, that's why they opened the border. They want to displace the voting bloc. Everybody knows it. So now our people only get $750 right now? And then they stop the civilian flights that are rescuing. Are you starting to see a picture of why you got to be prepared on your own? You're on your own. You and your family are on your own if something bad happens. There are no friends.
Well, it doesn't seem like they care, that's for sure. And you know, Harris, she probably wasn't doing what you said. She was probably getting her nails done or something.
No, she was too busy fundraising for millions of dollars.
Yeah, for herself.
Why you have Elon Musk and you have Trump setting up communications with Starlink, and then Biden comes out, yeah, we deployed Elon Musk. Dude, it was already done before you even got to that point. Trump set up the GoFundMe page, millions on there right now. What is it going to take for people to understand that you're being manipulated, and if you vote for them people, you're voting actually for fascism?
Oh, I was reading Steve's comments because he's in the area. He's in the area.
Actually, ham radio road rage is going to be the only kind of communication we got as soon as they take out the satellites. We're not going to have cell phones. It's going to be all come down to the basics again, ham radio.
Steve said we had a few tornadoes touch down near him the other day, and the people can't even get help because the resources are stretched thin out west.
That's because they're too busy helping everybody else except our people.
It's because it's all going overseas.
Our military is decimated. We got what, 40,000 troops or sailors, everything over in the Middle East right now. They know it's going to pop off. It's probably going to be your October surprise. They know it's going to pop. And it's funny, our military is facing an unprecedented lack of people joining. And I love this Senate candidate in Virginia. He actually came from Vietnam and is now an American citizen. Listen to why he says we're having the problem we are.
When you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not the people we want. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Those are young men and women that are going to win wars.
Please, audience, please.
What do you think of that? That guy came from Vietnam. His father came from Vietnam. They waited 7 years, the way they're supposed to get their citizenship.
Well, yeah, if you do it the right way, I ain't got an issue. But we got too many coming in here doing it the wrong way, and they're getting medical cards, they're getting food stamps, they're getting cash assistance. Where
our people's getting $750.
Our people, yeah, they're getting $750. But and even the people that have already been here, that they're getting nothing. It's like people can't even afford groceries, medical assistance, any of that stuff anymore because everything keeps going skyrocketing prices.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
Out of the old scarecrow's mouth, Comrade Kamala.
She's a piece of work, isn't she?
No, my heart breaks for the people in North Carolina and all these other places. It really breaks my heart. Be your kids down there suffering. We're supposed to take care of our future, aren't we?
You're supposed to. You know, it's sad. I was watching a bunch of clips from the hurricane, actually 2 nights ago. And it's like I was watching some like houses being pulled off their foundation, like floating down the road. And I'm like, what? How do you fix that? You can't put it back.
Well, like Stefan said over on Facebook, Hawaii, they didn't give them nothing either.
Mm-mm.
But they'll still vote for them.
Yeah, everybody's gonna still vote for one or the other.
No, I'm talking they'll still vote for these Democrats even though they didn't get nothing. Why?
Because they're gonna just go with what they normally do. They're not good. People don't listen to what's going on. They don't listen. They don't listen to the the issues or anything. It's just like, hey, my dad voted this way, so I'm just gonna vote that way. Oh, who'd you vote for? Okay, I'll vote for that person too. They just follow other people's lead. They're not individuals. Stand
You
up
know
for
what? I
you-
think you just put it there. They're not individuals.
Stand up for yourself. Don't vote a specific way because somebody told you to, or because your family does that, or because your friend does that, or your spouse does that. Vote for who you feel is necessary. You vote for yourself, be an individual, and all people need to be individuals and vote the way they see fit, not because everybody else does it or because the state goes this specific route. Stand up.
You know what's interesting is a lot of people don't know this, and it's sad because it was the thing that started the Revolutionary War. It was individual Americans that went out there, started newspapers, started becoming journalists on their own. You do not need a damn college degree to be a damn journalist. And if it wasn't for the guy I just played, we wouldn't know a lot of this going on because the mainstream news ain't going to want that going out. They berated Bush during that hurricane during his term, but God forbid they actually report actual news. Why ain't they reporting that FEMA is trying to confiscate goods down there and supplies? Why ain't they reporting that they grounded all these people that have been there from day one to help? Citizen journalists are the ones you want to talk to. They're giving you facts. And I guess this kind of leads into your topic of Generation X. We failed. Don't you agree?
And what, as far as Gen X goes?
Yeah, we failed. We failed everything because a lot of the world's problems now are because of us. We failed. We failed to raise our kids the way they should have been raised, like we were raised, with dignity and respect. We taught them all the wrong things, and it's coming back to haunt us now. Why do you think Generation X is the most stressful? Well, this is your topic. I led into it.
Why do I think Gen X is the most stressed generation out there?
Why should we be the most stressed when we were the lock-key generation?
Well,
where we had to be independent.
Well, Gen X is the first generation that both parents actually had to work outside the home. Like you said, we were
the lock-key.
That's not the term, but
what's the term?
Latchkey.
Hatchkey, whatever. Latchkey, whatever.
But if you also think about it, with our with the Gen X generation, childcare centers, after school programs, they weren't big yet when we were kids.
No, because we were dependent on ourselves. So my question again goes to, what the hell happened with us as far as parenting? Why did we feel like we had to give our kids everything?
I think a lot of it is because when we were growing up, we didn't get everything. And when we're growing up, and I said it when I was a kid, that when I have kids, I'm going to give them everything they want.
And what happened?
Big mistake. You shouldn't do that.
And that kind of thinking led to the massive Generation X doing that. And now we have a bunch of brats that don't know what the hell their sex is, or they need kitty litter boxes in schools to use. That's what we created. We created a generation who believes that they're owed everything when it wasn't ourselves that taught them.
Plus, you also got to think about the fact that a lot of Gen Xers, like many Gen Xers, have to care for their aging parents as well as their children. So it makes it where the Gen X has extra stress because of the fact that you're not only taking care of your own household, but you're also taking care of your parents. Where some other generations, they just didn't do it. Then, do you see the kids?
I call horseshit.
Why?
Because the boomers took care of their families.
Okay. And?
The boomers had it a lot harder than we did.
But a lot of the Gen X generation actually have it now where the family had to move in, like extended family has to live with them, like their parents are moving in.
And the boomers did the same with their parents.
Okay.
And the boomers had to live through World War II. They had to live during the rationing during World War II. They lived through some significant events, and we still came out good.
Plus, Gen X grew up during the AIDS epidemic, the end of the Cold War, the Challenger disaster, the late 80s, early 90s crime wave, 9/11, the Great Recession, COVID, and still managed to survive. What? It's stressful.
I don't buy it.
Why don't you buy it? Why are we debating? This is not supposed to be a debate.
It ain't. I'm not trying to make you feel like it's a debate, but I think that article's wrong. Those events had nothing like what the boomers had to go through with World War II, Vietnam, Korea.
Yes.
And they still held the family together.
This is a debate.
The Challenger disaster? Yeah, we seen it on TV when we were kids. Okay, cool. Whatever. How did that affect us?
What do you mean, how did it affect
Besides
us?
everybody wanting to be a damn astronaut.
That's all everybody wanted to be.
It was a tragic event. Yes, very tragic. But to say we had to live through that.
We did. We watched
AIDS? Yeah, we had to live through that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's disgusting now that kids think all you need to do is get a shot and you'll live from AIDS. And that's the way the media pushes it. COVID, yeah, everybody lived through it.
Mm-hmm.
Bad times. But how does that equate to stress? Those events.
What do you mean?
2001 was, when the 9/11 happened was stressful.
Yeah.
But why was that an excuse?
It's not an excuse
to let our kids be a bunch of freaking brats? That's my question to the article, not to you. So these events, that article saying that we're the most stressed.
Here's what it says. Gen X may have aged its way into the most stressful part of its life, but things could be a lot worse. There's no group of people better equipped to deal with stress than Gen X.
No, we're failing totally because most of Gen X right now is on freaking depression meds.
It says
See, she over here laughing.
It says Gen X have developed strong survival skills and the ability to handle anything that comes their
So why didn't
way.
we pass that to them, our kids? Why didn't we pass that to them? You know why?
You know why?
We tried,
Because
but the fucking schools killed it.
I was going to say we tried, but the kids don't listen because they think they know everything, just like we did when we were growing up.
No, we actually got taught we didn't know everything by getting our asses kicked.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, I got my ass handed to me. And it made me a stronger person.
Well, by one parent, I did. By the other parent, nope.
When it came to my father, I got my ass kicked. But then what was even more worrying is when, your Italian mother's all pissed at you. That is when you run.
I've seen your mom piss. I've seen her pissed. Not pretty.
You don't mess with a little Italian woman.
No, it's not a pretty sight.
But because we think we lived through stressful times doesn't give us the excuse of what's going on now.
This also, you want to hear what they say the stress level for 3 of the generations are? Okay. It says Gen X has an average stress level of a 5.8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
While millennials have a 3.4 and baby boomers 4.4.
Because baby boomers have been there and done that.
Mm-hmm. And millennials, I noticed that they're
millennials were just given everything. They get to live with us.
Here, honey, here's your debit card. Go to the store. Go get what you need.
That's true, no?
I'll reload it for you. It's fine.
That's what's happening.
That's why it's so hard for people to find employees because they don't work. Nobody wants to work. They don't care.
I think it's a good article to debate.
I don't want to debate you though. I ain't stupid.
But I want to know, do you believe it?
Do I believe it? I personally feel that, in my opinion, when we were growing up, things were a lot different than it is now. Why we didn't do what we were taught, or maybe we did with our kids and it just went the wrong way. I don't know. But it's like our kids never had to come home to an empty house. We used to go home to, I didn't, but a lot of people I knew.
Hell yeah, I did.
Went home to nobody being home. And, you had to either go to the neighbor's house to get a key, or you had a key and you're, on a little key ring, whatever. I used to have to go to the neighbors to get a key because my parents didn't trust me to have one.
Do you know who I blame?
Who?
For all this.
Who?
And I'll bring out Malcolm X, because even Malcolm X said it. Do you know who the most dangerous person in the United States is?
No.
A white liberal. Everything they do turns everything to shit. He said it himself, Malcolm X. A white liberal. And that's what started happening. You know when it started turning? In 1994 or something like that. When Hillary Clinton came out and said it takes a village to raise a child.
No, don't.
That's when this shit started.
The only time you ever need anybody's extra help to raising a child is if you're a single parent.
And even then, there's some strong ass people.
Yeah, there's a lot of single people that did it by themselves. I know a lot of people that I grew up with, that I graduated high school with, that had a single parent household.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a few of them had it hard because of the fact that either their dad was gone, or there was always still arguing about, the typical, well, what weekends do I have? The typical stuff.
I want you to listen to this from Malcolm X.
Okay.
Listen to this, and I want everybody's opinion here, yours included. Listen, please. The white liberal is the worst enemy to to America and the worst enemy to the black man. Let me explain what I mean by this white liberal. In America, there's no such thing as Democrats and Republicans anymore. That's antiquated. In America, you have liberals and conservatives. This is what the American political structure boils down to among whites. The only people who are still living in the past and thinks in terms of I am a Democrat or I am a Republican is the American Negro. He's the one who runs around bragging about party affiliation, and he's the one who sticks to the Democrat or sticks to the Republicans. But white people in America are divided into two groups, liberals and Republicans, or rather, liberals and conservatives. And when you find white people vote in the political picture, they're not divided in terms of Democrats and Republicans. They're divided consistently, and conservatives and as liberals. The Democrats who are conservative vote with Republicans, blah, blah, blah. Now, the white liberals aren't white people who are for independence, who are for as liberal. The Democrats who are conservatives, and he goes on to this. What do you think about that, where Malcolm X said this in the 60s, the white liberal is the worst enemy to America and the worst enemy to the black man? That's pretty tough right there, ain't it? And these liberal ideals, they stem a lot from Generation X. Because we were the kids of the hippies. Not us, but our generation was born by hippie parents. And what were those hippie parents doing during the 60s? Spitting on our soldiers, causing all kinds of chaos. Now, what's happening in this country?
There's a lot of chaos. Dude, half the time people in this country right now don't even know where their next meal's going to come from because the government's too busy helping other people.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because after this break, I'm going to show you something. Very good way to go into this one, China. Good.
Is an in-depth look at the trials and tribulations of street gang and motorcycle club life. This isn't the run-of-the-mill book that doesn't get the goods. This book will go into detail of events that actually happened. All materials in this book have been approved by those involved. There is nothing poetic, nor is there any price worth paying for the life we choose to live on the streets. James Hollywood Machikari, Brotherhood and Betrayal.
I want you to repeat what you just said about how hard it is right now.
That people don't know where a lot of people don't know where they're going to get their next meal from because the government's too busy helping out other countries, not the U.S.
And Malcolm X, I just came up and talked about how dangerous the white liberal is to American society.
Mm-hmm.
They all think everything is fine and dandy right now, correct?
Yeah.
You actually have people coming out that are liberal on the news saying, yeah, the economy ain't that bad and blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a video of a person putting this white liberal in his place.
Uh-oh, Nobel Prize-winning economist here to tell us how great the economy is. I certainly wonder how the residents of Asheville, North Carolina must be feeling right now with no access to power or water or communication with the outside world. I wonder how enthusiastic they are about the economy right now. I wonder how enthusiastic the residents of the South Bronx must be feeling about the economy. Hey, maybe North Carolina should rename itself Israel so it'll get $20 billion in aid. Or maybe Ukraine so it can get $300 billion in aid. Maybe the South Bronx should do the same thing. I mean, I'm sure the economy is great for smug liberals like yourself who make $5 million and are worth $5 million. I'm sure the economy must be great for all you smug journalists, economists. All of you must be having a great time with the economy when most people can't even pay for basic necessities. For people who are getting evicted because they can't pay their rent. Because over in the South Bronx, just a few miles away from here, there are portions of...
I'd have smacked that one in front waving that phone.
He was trying to block his camera with his own phone. He goes, this guy's spitting facts. That's what Steve said.
Big facts. So was Malcolm X correct when he said white liberals are enslaving the black men?
I'm not going to answer that.
Well, I will.
I'm not. Because
Yes, they
the
are.
way
And you know
just
why?
Stated that is racist.
That ain't racist to say, hey, are they enslaving the black man? Look at South Side of Chicago, West Side, Detroit, Atlanta. They got them believing that that's their best interest. Why some of their biggest civil rights activists, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Meyer Evers, were telling them, no, they're not the good people here. And it's came to full circle. Do you think that because our parental generation, I guess you could say, that were at these colleges in the 60s and all their extreme crap, put it through to a lot of our generation kids' heads? And I'm not saying yours or mine, but other in our generation, them damn beliefs that have trickled down now to get even worse.
What do you mean? You lost me there.
Basically saying the same ideology of the 60s from their parents that lived through it have caused this. Look at Portland, Oregon. You can't even walk there.
Never been.
It used to be a pretty city.
I think, well, obviously every generation is going to trickle into the next generation to come. But the problem is okay, we need to do better. I never said that I'm a perfect parent. I'm not a perfect person. I got my flaws. I've screwed up numerous times. But I think we need to do better. And we need to get these kids. I mean, I know it's going to be a hard task because they're all stuck on their stupid phones or whatever. But man, these kids need to know what it's like to actually be a kid. Go outside, play at the park. Go for walks.
But is it too late to turn it from our generation? We already screwed it up.
Well, the next generation needs to do better when they have kids, which would be like our kids' generation. They need to do better. Don't go buying all these kids their phones and handing them whatever they want.
Let me ask you something that you brought that up. Say if our daughter had a kid, you think she would fix it?
No, our daughter would fuck her kid up. I'm sorry.
She would bring them liberal points to the kid, wouldn't she?
I'd have to take that kid. It'd be mine. I'd be like, oh, look, honey, you had a baby. Thanks, Mom's keeping it. Because no.
Chida was quick on that one. That liberal ideology sucks, don't it?
Oh, man. That child, if we had a grandchild through our daughter, okay, seriously, if we did, which I don't personally see it happening, but if we did, dude.
China doll's all red right now.
We would have to fix that child. That child's gonna be broken. That kid's gonna have the strangest thoughts.
Road rage. We're all still on the plantation. The only difference is that we are brainwashed to think that we are free, and the new master is the government.
The new math.
Master.
Oh, I thought he said math. I'm like, what? Frick that new math. No, I swear.
See, we believe in bringing up the tough ass subjects.
Tell me. It's crazy.
Even where it makes my co-host freaking blush.
Talking about our daughter having a kid. That kid be spending most of their time here. That's all I'm saying. It's mine. Claiming it. Maybe I could do it right the next time. I don't know.
Problem is, you don't get do-overs.
No, but if I had a grandkid, I could change. Could do it different.
Could we as grandparents actually influence the grandkids
I think so. I think grandparents have a big influence on grandchildren. To be honest, I think in some situations, grandparents have a bigger hand in how their grandchildren, grow, become the adults that they become. More than I remember when I was growing up. Like me seeing my grandparents as a kid, it was like maybe once a year or every other year. Where now a lot of families live close enough to each other that grandparents are way more involved in their grandkids' lives than I've probably ever seen before. I don't know how I don't know how many times I'd be at work and I hear grandma and grandpa or papa and nana. You hear that with all the kids coming in with their grandparents just about as much, if not more, than when they're coming in with their parents. I see more grandparents with their grandkids now more than ever, which is amazing. It's like,
or they're forced to have to.
Or
because the parents are gone.
Or there's no other option, and the grandparents are technically raising the grandkids, which you see a lot of nowadays. More than
is it because Generation X was all fucked up?
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, we're the generation right now that's getting all the grandkids, so we're the ones raising them.
Yeah. Our grandkids used to spend a crap ton of time with us. We'd usually go over there at least, what?
No, I'm talking about live-in grandkids. A lot of people are facing that right now. That's in our generation.
Yeah.
So, that could be stressful, but at the same time, that's our damn fault.
Because of the fact that a lot of the parents are so stressed that they're turning to drugs and alcohol.
I think the government wanted that.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. That's how they decimated the black population. Throw drugs at them. That was in the 80s. And now, let's open the borders, just let it come in. It's decimating entire generations. Why? Because the rich run this government. They want a one world government. That's exactly what they want. Call me a conspiracist, but that's what they want.
What do you think, Jason? What Jason just said?
I personally believe that the generation millennial fucked everything up along with the late 90s, early 2000s technology bloom. That I believe that's true because we're the ones who gave birth to the millennials. Generation X.
Steve, I think I'm going to start identifying as not white. So for now on, all you honkies own me because of stuff you never did.
Hey, Steve, my question is for you, since you are in North Carolina, have you run across anybody that's going through this terrible event that actually is going to vote for these people in office now?
Yeah, good question.
I actually want to know that. Do you know people that are actually going to still vote for these people now that they see that they're nobodies? That's what these people look at them as, is nobodies. If you're not Ukraine, if you're not Israel, if you're not another country, then you ain't worth nothing.
Now here's my question to you, Mr. Hollywood. Being that technically we only have Harris and Trump to choose from.
Yeah.
You still going with your same choice? Or are you going to consider, hey, like
I'm going for Trump.
Like me. I still don't know who I'm voting for.
You're an idiot then.
No, I don't know.
I got a Trump sign hanging up. I got a Trump flag flying right now.
Yeah, I know. I saw that when I came home last night. Thanks. Thanks for letting everybody know.
You're damn right. I'll let everybody know.
Steve answered.
Honestly, right now, everyone isn't even thinking about the election. Everyone, no matter political party, has just been trying to help each other get through it 100%. Would it be interesting to see the final polls come November 5th?
Yeah.
Because if North Carolina is close there, I could say, what the hell is wrong with you? Was that $750 enough for you?
Seems that way. Hey, Sonia, I want to touch base with Sonia. Some grandparents, this is what she says, some grandparents let them do whatever the hell they want. Now, I'm going to say one thing. My kids, my 2 children, mine and Hollywood's 2 children that we had together, yeah, I let them get away with a lot. Okay? But when the grandkids...
And she's wondering why the hell our kid fucking bugs her every day.
With our grandchildren, which is his oldest daughter's children, they didn't get away with nothing in this house.
Why is that? Why was there a difference?
Because I realized I screwed up.
You heard it first here.
I did. I'm not going to lie. I screwed up my own kids because I let them, I never spanked my kids. I popped my daughter in the mouth once, but she was in high school. And my disciplining, because my kids weren't really bad enough to where I had to discipline them, to be honest with you. They weren't. Our kids weren't bad. They weren't bad.
No, they weren't
kids.
bad, because one time I had to smack the shit out of them. When I did, you cried.
I did cry. I was like, oh my God, why did you touch her? Stop touching her. Don't hit the kids. But I mean, I even popped my daughter in the mouth once because she smarted off. But I admit, I screwed up raising my kids.
She's probably saying that every time she gets one of the drama texts.
Yeah. God, where did I go wrong? That is what I say when I see my daughter texting me. What did I do wrong?
And what did I say when they were little?
That I need to discipline the kids.
No, what did I say?
Don't be their friend.
What else?
I don't remember.
It's gonna. You screwed up. You're screwing it up. This is what's gonna happen.
I admit I screwed it up. But the grandkids, anytime the grandkids were around, man, I used to just have to give them a look. And they'd be like, I'm sorry, Grandma.
And it should have been that way the whole time.
And it should. It should. But, you know. Oh, Jason has a question.
Kind of natural disaster. The war is already going to be started in between Iran and Israel. Israel's going to hit back, and they'll probably hit back hard. And then it's going to go up from there. And the media is trying to make the election seem closer. I agree. I agree. You know, everybody thinks that conservatives watch Fox News. I can't stand Fox News. They came out with a poll this morning. She's up by 4 in Wisconsin. Yeah, why is everybody else saying different, you dumbasses? I can't stand Fox News. I really can't. They got Paul Ryan as a board member. Come on,
Dude,
that
I
tells
can't
you nothing.
stand anything. I cannot watch the TV on election day because, you know, they're calling states too soon.
Well,
not all the votes are in. And
well,
they're
that's why I
closing.
said you got to go
Stupid.
to independent journalists to actually get anything. That's what the news media used to be, is independent journalists. They're the ones who printed them flyers in the printing shop, but don't tread on me, jackass. But we fell slave to a system.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you agree? We fell slave to it.
I don't know what that means. I'm ignorant.
The government's the best. They give everything
No,
for
they
us.
ain't.
What's up, Brad, over on Facebook?
No, they
We
ain't.
are streaming over on Facebook, too.
we're on my channel, too.
Yeah, we're on China Dolls channel, too. And I've been uploading a lot of these to Spotify and all that. Normally, I only upload once a week, but we've been doing some good topics for everybody.
Yeah, so you want to hear something? Let's change it up a bit. Since we only got a few minutes, right?
What?
I got a news story.
What?
It's gross. All right. A man in Austria amputated his own penis with an axe after ingesting a hefty dose of psychedelic mushrooms. You're welcome.
The moral of the story right there is don't ingest mushrooms. You'll cut your wang off, man.
Fortunately, doctors in Austria were able to reattach the severed organ.
I wonder if he's going to be on a dose of freaking.
So he basically
the Pecker pill.
He Lorena Bobbited himself.
I call Viagra the Pecker pill.
The patient's shocking story is first of its kind. Look, should he make the Guinness because he did something first? He's a 37-year-old man who was reportedly suffering from depression and alcohol abuse at the time of his psychotic break.
Leave it to China Doll to bring up a damn story like that. What the fuck, China Doll? No pecker chopping stories. Now I have to go run and get icy hot on my Johnson. I love that one.
Don't say icy hot. Somebody's gonna try it. Then you're gonna get emails again.
Damn morons using icy hot to jerk it. What the hell's wrong with you, man?
You're welcome.
See what you started, man? We're gonna leave you with this, man.
We're gonna leave you with that story.
I really want you to think. Really want you to think about this when your fellow citizens are suffering right now from that hurt.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
Our citizens.